What's going on, guys? My name is Bryant, also known as That Journaling Guy, and today I'm going to be making a video game journal with you. So I'm going to give you guys a few ideas for some spreads that you could make, but this is more of a journal with me video. So if you want to grab your journal and kind of hang out with me while I work through this, please do. So I was sitting down and I realized I had never really mixed my hobbies together. I'm a really big gamer, right? And obviously I love journaling, but I realized I've never really put them together in any way, shape, or form other than maybe one or two bullet journal spreads that I used to make. Besides that, I never really did anything specifically for my gaming, so I decided to make a full-blown gaming journal. Now, I bought this Hobonichi Day Free on sale before the year started, but up until now, I didn't really have a reason to use it. So I kind of want to go through just what gaming has meant to me in my life, why I'm making this journal, why I'm making these spreads, talk about a little bit of my experience growing up with video games and like how it's shaped me as the person that I am today. But to start off, let's go to the yearly. The yearly index. All I'm doing with the yearly index here is I'm going to be tracking my hours. And lucky enough, before I started this journal, I'm already tracking the amount of hours that I play video games. I'm tracking the amount of time I'm doing everything. So it just gives me a good little overview of how much time I'm spending on video games a month. And I thought that was a pretty easy way to go about it. Then for the monthly view, a little bit more specific here, I'm going to be tracking what I'm playing on. I'm either going to be playing on PC, I'm going to be playing on console, and then when certain games of interest come out. Nothing too crazy. I may decorate it a little bit more, maybe add my goals for the month, which is kind of crazy to say, but we'll get to it when we get to that section. But now we begin. So I used to do, like every once in a while for my Instagram, I used to make like a about me page, right? And I decided to create a gamer profile where I kind of just give you a little bit of information, or whoever's reading this, maybe future me, about who I am as a gamer. So right now, as of right now, these are my stats, right? Favorite gaming platform, PC, PlayStation, of course. Current top game, Siege. I've been playing Siege since it's come out. I've taken little breaks here and there, but it absolutely has been one of the go-to games. Favorite game developers, Bethesda, Naughty Dog, BioWare. Longest gaming session I've ever had, 14 hours. Don't judge me. Most unlikely game that I have loved is Stardew Valley. And Stardew Valley, there's so many things that I could say about Stardew Valley. It was genuinely one of those games that I will cherish for the rest of my life because it came in a time where I was going through it. I was so emotionally drained and like just depressed, and I remember like literally going to bed, waking up, playing Stardew Valley for like 10 to 12 hours, going to bed and doing that again. And I did that for like three weeks to a month. And I think Stardew Valley came to me at a time where I just really needed an escape from the world. And it ended up being one of my favorite games of all time. I absolutely love Stardew Valley. Now, my average gaming hours per day, 1 hour and 49 minutes, which per day is kind of crazy, but listen, hear me out, okay? People spend like 6 to 7 hours on their phone. Just because you check it every 10 minutes and it's not consistently doesn't mean you're not, all right, adding to your screen time. Don't judge me. First game ever, Pokemon Yellow. Yes, Pokemon Yellow was my first game, and the story that I have with that I will never forget. Oh God, I had the yellow like Game Boy Color to that too, right? And the thing is, I remember I went on a cruise. My parents took me on a cruise. I couldn't have been more than maybe like 8 or 9. We went on this cruise, and I had a little sling that I used to put all of my like handheld games in. At this point, I think maybe the Game Boy Advance SP was out too, or the Game Boy Advance was out. So I had a pink Game Boy Advance, and then I had my Game Boy Color with Pokemon inside, and I had this sling. But on this cruise, I left that sling on my bed, right? I go out, I eat like 40 pounds of ice cream because ice cream is free. I come back maybe a few hours later. The sling is gone. All right, with everything that was inside of it. And it ends up being that like one of the housekeeping ladies stole the sling because they knew it was a game system and like just took it. And I was never able to recover it. And it was the saddest trip ever at that age. That was like it crumbled my world. You don't understand. I was crying for the rest of that trip. Most played game ever, Minecraft, and we'll get a little bit to that when I talk a little bit about my favorite games list. Favorite game genres, RPGs, first-person shooters, and now indie games. So I thought this was just a really cool little page as an introduction. For the second page, I have my game collection, but for this, I'm just going to include the games that I purchased in 2024, considering this is a 2024 gaming journal. So if I added my entire game collection, it would be well over 500 games, and I'm not exaggerating. Just on Steam alone, I have like 252 games. So if I added my PlayStation 5 library, Xbox One, Switch, Game Boy, Xbox 360, it would just be ridiculous. There's not enough journal space and not enough time for me to be writing down every single game. But surprisingly enough, I've done a really good job of cataloging every single game I've ever owned or played in a Notion template. And I'm really excited to kind of show that off because that's taken a lot of time, but it's really cool. So nothing too crazy here, just the game title, the purchase date, and then a quick little review. Like if I do end up beating it, just the same way that I'm notorious for abandoning journals, I also abandon games in the same way. I'm sorry, it's hard. Okay, it's hard for me to beat games full way through, for them to maintain my attention. Like I have this habit. Maybe this might be like a personality flaw kind of thing. I don't really finish a lot of things. Like you would hate to be on a road trip with me because I don't listen to songs. Like my girlfriend hates it. I don't listen to songs all the way through, like at all. Like maybe I'll listen to the first minute 30, I'll be like, oh, I'm bored, and then I go to the next one, and then I listen to my favorite part of that song, and ding, 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 ding. I don't listen to, like, albums in terms of music. I've never listened to an album all the way through, except maybe like the D12 Eminem CD, because that was like the first CD I ever bought, or the DMX. But it's rare for me to 100% a game or like finish it all the way through. If I finish a game all the way through, it's because I absolutely love it, or just you got me. You got me. It's a 10 out of 10. The last game that I beat 100%, I think, was Horizon Zero Dawn, and I played that like in 2021. I think that was the last one I beat 100%. But that was my game collection. The next one is going to be my wish list, and now my wish list is kind of like things I'm waiting to like go on sale on the Steam, like summer sale and stuff like that. So we have Hell Let Loose, which is like a wartime simulator, which was crazy because they had their free weekend, and one match ended up taking like 2 hours, 3 hours. Heartbound, Traveler's Rest, Sea of Stars, The Outlast Trials, because I'm a big like horror fan kind of guy for video games. I really enjoy being scared during games. I don't know why. Dredge, Animal Well, and Alan Wake 2. So easy peasy, nothing crazy. I still have to go back and like fill in the release dates, and then a little check mark if I ended up buying it. But having a nice little list of what I want, without having to just keep it on my wish list on Steam, and having something I could reference relatively quickly, pretty cool and easy. I'm really on my indie game grind recently too, like Heartbound, Traveler's Rest, Dredge, Animal Well. Like those are just indie games that I'm super interested in, because I now that I've started trying to create my own game, I really appreciate the effort that goes into making a video game. The art, the music, the gameplay loop, the mechanics. It's just so impressive to me that people get together and do this, and it blows my mind, and I want to be a part of that community, and I want to keep working, and I'm playing these games as sort of a source of inspiration. I used to be really like anti-indie games. I thought they were the dumbest thing. I'm like, why are people wasting their time? But now as an adult, I think I've really appreciated not having to spend 70 to 100 hours to get through a AAA game. Because honestly, as an adult, it's hard to have that time free. It's hard to have 70, 80 hours to beat one single video game. Now I'm more into the 10 to 20 hour range. Games that cost maybe 15 to 20 bucks. Like, that sounds like a great investment of my time and a great amount of time to experience some phenomenal games. So indie all the way. Also, now the next thing I worked on was my backlog, which was simple, but I like how this page turned out, because what I ended up doing is I ended up making my own like sticker page. And in my sticker page, I just kind of printed the covers of all the video games, and then a little bit of Dave the Diver, which we'll talk about a little bit. But I really like how it turned out. And don't judge me, I know they're a little missized, but finding the same size covers on Google for games that don't have physical covers, annoying. Okay, it was annoying. So I know they're missized. I know they're a little misshapen. Some are a little longer, some are a little wider. I don't care. Leave me alone. Okay, don't judge me. But this is my backlog. This is my backlog of games that I'm trying to prioritize this year. The games that I'm like pretty close to beating, but still haven't beat. So my backlog is way bigger than this. But these are just the ones that I want to focus on for now. If anything, I'll just make a second backlog page. I have Baldur's Gate 3, Borderlands 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Moonlighter, Sons of the Forest, Tunic, Life is Strange True Colors, Grounded, God of War, Nier Automata, and Ni no Kuni 2. And then on the right, I kind of made a little progress bar. So as I finish a game, I just go 1, 2, 3, and I kind of see the progression of how I'm getting through my backlog. Nothing too crazy. But I just really like that I had the covers. You know, I was going to draw them initially, but I was like, no, I kind of want to really know what game is there, right? Out of these, I think the closest one, I'm the closest to beating Sons of the Forest. I think we're on like the last mission. Baldur's Gate, which is one of my favorite games of all time right now, but I'm only halfway through Act 3, so I'm almost done. But that is that page. Pretty easy, pretty nice. I like having the visualization. I kind of had this idea from keeping like a book tracker, right? For like a reading journal. People really like printing out the covers of their books and then laying it out like on shelves. I just did that with the games, and I really like how it turned out. Next, so I just want to say this. I am now a small caps kind of person for my Hobonichis. I love the way small caps looks. This is how I'm journaling in all of my journals now. So I do cursive in like my bigger journals, but now I like doing small caps in my Hobonichis because I like the aesthetic. And this was me kind of just journaling for all of my favorite video games. I only picked a top 8, okay? I would usually do a top 10, but these are my top 8 video games of my entire life. At the big age of 30, these are my favorite games. We have Mass Effect 2, Zelda Ocarina of Time, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, Minecraft, GoldenEye 007 for Nintendo 64, The Last of Us, Pokemon Pearl, and then Baldur's Gate 3. And they all have their own like story. Like they all came at a time in my life when I needed them most, right? Like Mass Effect 2. I remember that I played Mass Effect 1 on accident. I had just bought an Xbox 360 and my friend had one for a while, and I didn't have any games for my Xbox 360, and he hands me this disc and he's like, "Do you want to play this game?" I'm like, "Sure, what is it?" He's like, "I don't know, man. It's like some space thing. I didn't really like it, so you can have it." He didn't give me a case. He literally just gave me like a booty ass naked CD, right? Scratches and everything. I popped it in, and I remember my parents were at work or they were like spending the night somewhere. And so it was just me and being able to plug in my Xbox 360 into the flat screen in the living room, which I didn't have at the time. And getting through the slowest like 2-3 hours of introduction ever, and then realizing I had just stumbled upon one of the greatest games that have ever been created. He just didn't put in the time to get through the story. He didn't understand. And then it just quickly became one of my favorite games ever. Mass Effect 1 was amazing, but then Mass Effect 2 came out, and that was just revolutionary. I remember I've watched the cinematic trailer for Mass Effect 2 like 100 times. I'm not even joking. Like, for that Christmas, I got a crisp new Sony Bravia TV, Turtle Beach headsets, wired, that I would plug into the TV, and I would just go to like YouTube or something, just replay the cinematic trailer over and over and over. And the funny thing is, when this game came out, I did not have the money to buy it right off rip. So what I did was I rented it from Blockbuster, and I might be dating myself there, but Blockbuster was the shit. I ended up renting that game like twice straight in Blockbuster, and until I finally bought it. But good memories. Absolutely loved it. Ocarina of Time, memories with my brothers. I was a little kid, and they were, they're like 15, 20 years older than me, and they were playing this game all together. And I never got my turn. To play. And they're like, yeah, no worry, you can play. Skyrim, I've bought for every single console and have yet to beat it. Okay, there's so much to do in that game. Don't judge me. All right, there's a lot to do in Skyrim, and it's a lot going on. I've bought it for VR, the Switch, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox. I had it for everything. Minecraft has just been one of those games that has just been through every single transition of my life, right? Like from teenager into early 20s, mid 20s, and now into my 30s. Like, Minecraft has just reliably been one of those games that I will have a Minecraft, like, period. Every few months, I'll be like, you want to play Minecraft? And me and the boys just hop on Minecraft. Like, recently, I just got one of my other friends to try Minecraft for the first time ever. And he's like a hardcore first-person shooter. We put in like 50 hours just building shit and dying, and amazing. GoldenEye 007 is gotta be the reason why I'm in love with Daniel Craig. No, with the 007 series in general, the franchise. I absolutely love this game. It was the first shooter I had ever played. Slappers only, the free aim mechanics, the music was fire. Like, the pause screen on the time, like when you take out your watch, don't even get me started. I played this game so much that I can play the silo mission blindfolded, and I'm not even joking. I played it so much I learned the order of the death sound effects of the enemies. So like, ooh, that I learned the order of it. I'm not gonna be a nerd and do it, but I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. And I remember, I don't know if I've ever actually talked about this. I used to live in a trailer park. My parents, we didn't come from much, and I used to sleep in this little box. I'm not joking. It was legitimately a box, and it was the comfiest thing ever. I have no complaints. I fucking loved that box. And so I'd put a blanket and a pillow on the bottom so I could, lay into it, and then my legs would kind of dangle out of the box, and I would sit in between my legs, and I would watch the TV and play 007. And I could legit, as a kid, spend 10 hours playing the same mission over and over and over and over again. And I just have really good memories with GoldenEye 007. The Last of Us was probably the first time I ever felt like I was playing a movie, like an interactive movie. So cinematic storytelling at a whole new level. Then Pokemon Pearl. Pokemon has always been like a major part of my life. Pearl just happened to be the one that I put like hundreds of hours into. So I picked Pearl, but it would be the one where I'd go to field trips in school and have battles with people. It was the one game that I caught like every Pokemon in. I traded in that game. I cheated with the little action replay and got like unlimited Master Balls, or be able to catch like trainers Pokemon. Everything. Like, Pokemon Pearl was amazing. Absolutely one of the best Pokemon games ever. And then Baldur's Gate. This is probably the most recent game on here. I don't think a game has captured my attention in my late 20s and early 30s the way Baldur's Gate has. Like, I was addicted to this game. I'm talking putting in work days, 8 to 9 hour days, 100 hours in the first week. I have nothing bad to say about this game. The music, the characters, the voice acting, the freedom, the action. Holy shit. I don't even know how they did this. I don't know how you would go about doing something like this. They thought of everything. And I'm a big D&D guy, and they just thought of everything that you could do in D&D. They gave you the freedom to almost do everything. So Baldur's Gate absolutely deserves a spot. Don't judge me for my top 8, okay? Listen, I know I'm missing a few games in here. Stardew Valley, if I had a top 10, Stardew Valley would probably be number 9. And then GTA 4. Maybe I put a lot of time into GTA 4 too. So for the next spread, I have a completion tracker where I kind of just had progress bars. And these are the games that I have good progression in. So they're almost the ones that I have in my backlog. I have Life is Strange, Sons of the Forest, Baldur's Gate, Borderlands, Cyberpunk, Fallout 4, which because of the series I went back to play, and I put a good like 30-40 hours into that last month. No regrets. Still an amazing game. Still holds up really well, honestly, and with mods even better. Nier Automata, Horizon Forbidden West, and God of War. And then went in with a little Mildliner and kind of just made a progress bar, right? An estimation of how far I think I am in each one. Next, this one is came out super simple, right? Like I didn't want to do anything super flashy, super crazy. I did my favorite video game soundtracks. And okay, I'm a really, really, really big like score kind of person or soundtrack kind of person. Okay, music genuinely for me can make or break a movie or game. Like hopefully in September I'm going to Hans Zimmer's concert. He's one of my favorite composers ever, like film composers. I absolutely love like film scores. I absolutely love video game soundtracks. Music in those scenarios is like everything to me. Music to me is the most important thing. So one of the most important things, I'm sorry. I kind of just picked my favorite soundtracks, like what I thought video game soundtracks were good, like what video game soundtracks were good. And a lot of these are going to be like, oh yeah, of course you picked that, but they're bangers, okay? They're bangers. And it's such a simple setup. I have little cassette tapes, 3 little doodles, and the small caps, which I like the aesthetic. It was nice, simple, easy, a little bit random on where everything went. But a few standouts here, the Last of Us main theme. Things like the Delfino Plaza, Super Mario Sunshine. Come on, Mirror's Edge theme. All right, the Mirror's Edge theme, which was called Still Alive, I believe, which was probably my introduction to EDM. I think this was a period where I was listening to like Benny Benassi, like Satisfaction, and Tiesto and stuff like that. So it really hit. We have Kingdom Hearts 2, okay, Dearly Beloved. Oh God, all of these just fucking smack. We have Wind Waker, okay, the Dragon Roost Island theme song. Life is Strange has all the games have amazing soundtracks, by the way. Life is Strange, 100%. That's not really my type of music. Like I would say it's like indie rock or folk kind of music, and it's not really my genre of music that I usually listen to. It's the type of music I listen to is like reggaeton and EDM and a little bit of rap sprinkled in there, but the Life is Strange soundtracks hits. And this is one of those where I'm able to like step out of my likes and admire how well it fits with the game. Like the atmosphere it creates, it plays so well together. It builds up the atmosphere, the experience. It's just a very like, oh God, I don't even know how to put it into words. It's very, very good. And even the soundtrack right now for True Colors, which is what I'm playing literally yesterday, is really good. I can't wait to add it to my Spotify playlist. Then we have Gears of War 3 Mad World, the trailer. Come on, what are we doing? But these are just a few songs. Hopefully I'll make another page. If I come across any other new songs, I'll be adding them to that. The next one, which I just decided to throw a few little flower stickers that I had lying around because I liked it. All right, but I made a memorable quotes page. For now, I didn't want to cover it with quotes that I already had, only with a few to give you guys an idea of how it would look, but I want to leave it open for any new quotes that I come across. And listen, I'm a big quotes person. kind of guy. I get motivated by listening to quotes. Okay, sometimes I hear quotes that really put things into perspective for me or really motivate me. Like I have a whole little pocket journal where I'm listening to podcasts and I'm like, holy shit, that's deep. I'll go and write it down. Quotes actually do something for me. So I just picked 3 of the quotes that I thought were really good to put in here. So the first one's from Half-Life 2. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference. The next one is from Far Cry 2. You can't break a man the way you can break a dog or a horse. The harder you beat a man, the taller he stands. And then the last one is from Fallout, is war never changes. A classic. Like if you played Fallout, you know that bangs, that hits different. Then I put these little words, because I have these little word stickers, like phrase stickers. And then love is a lamp, while friendship is the shadow. I don't know, that sounded a little ominous, so I thought it was kind of funny, and I put it in there. The next spread that I have is gaming goals. I don't know why I never applied the concept of having goals for my gaming hobby. Maybe because it would kind of feel like work, but I made goals for everything else. So I kind of did this the way I did my yearly goals. I also made them into stickers. And these are the gaming goals that I have. I have create one complete game. Okay, right now I'm learning Unity still and Godot, and we'll see if I can actually have a full-blown game that maybe I'll let you guys play, and I'll put it in the description somewhere one day. I want it to be about journaling. I don't know what kind of journaling game, but I know I'm gonna mix them. I'm gonna do it. I want to try one Souls game. I really want to get into Elden Ring. I don't have the patience to keep dying over and over and over and over and keep that grind. You have to be built different, but I'm gonna give it a try. Maybe as an adult, it's something I can put up with. 100% complete a video game. As you know, I don't finish video games, so just completing 1 to 100% completion would be a big deal for me. Then I have finished 6 games in 2024, so just 6 games in general. Beat the story. You don't have to get every collectible. You don't have to complete it to 100. Just finish 6 games. Next is reach gold in Siege, in Tom Clancy Siege. And it doesn't sound... Listen, okay? I was stuck in copper. I finished like high silver this season, and I finally am going to try to get to gold. PC shooters was hard for me for a while, okay? Like, I was always a console player. It's been 3 years that I've been playing on PC, so cut me some slack. I'm trying, okay? I know gold isn't high, but we'll get to plat. I got plat on PS5 once. Maybe twice. I believe it was once, but we'll get there. We'll get to gold. And then try 3 new indie games. Like I said, I really appreciate the art of making a video game now. Like getting into indie games, I think it's a really, really cool way to kind of get some inspiration. So I will be doing that. And then the last thing isn't really a spread, but it's more me showing you how I'm going to be doing reviews in my journal. So I decided to do a quick little review on Dave the Diver, which was an indie game that I had played maybe like 2 months ago. And I absolutely love Dave the Diver. It was so good. It was so much fun. The pixel art, now that I tried doing pixel art on my own, I appreciate the art style, the pixel art lifestyle so much. The amount of effort it took to animate that pixel art. The gameplay is really fun. The music and the sounds sort of just enhance the entire experience. There was just a gameplay loop that was really fun for me, like being like the whole catching the fish, then running your sushi restaurant at night. It was like a resource management with an action RPG. There was a constant flow of unlockables. Dave the Diver was a really fun game. I had a lot of fun with it for like a good 2 weeks, put a good 35 hours into it. Absolutely no complaints, and by that I'm absolutely lying to you, because I'm absolutely using that word too much. Absolutely. There was one little complaint. The complaint is that the story was a little flat. It wasn't the most intriguing story, but the gameplay loop was good enough for me to keep coming back and see it all the way to the end. So I gave it a score of 90 out of 100, and this is how my spreads are going to look every time I review a game. Except that score 90, I used like the stamps and they ended up being way bigger than I was hoping, and it looks ugly as shit, and I kind of ruined the entire spread of it, and it kind of pissed me off. But you know, I guess that's part of the charm of it now. So this is how it's gonna look, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I had these like little sushi stickers that I never had a use for, and it was perfect for Dave the Diver. Now, that is the end of my gaming journal that I started this year. Hopefully I can fill it out in the next 6 months and have something good to report about my gaming habits at the end of this year. Quick little side note, a lot of the stickers that I used here were stickers that I have in my sticker shop now, which is Screen and Quill, where I'll have stickers like this, and you can go check them out. And I'd really appreciate it. It supports me, it supports this channel, it supports my small business. So if you do like any of the content that I put out, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.